we get you health, we get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life, we get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We'll literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is promised spiritual service, helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science in you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working early. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within the next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers after that very short break. We were just able to understand from one of the representatives from the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham on the different various contributions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done through the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, the Adi Kailash ship, literally, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism built from scratch in order to help each and every one of us, millions of us across the world, and the global Hindu diaspora, as well as humanity itself, to sail through this pralaya. And I'm sure that each and every one of you are extremely excited, and you are just eagerly awaiting, as you have heard the news, that we will be having the live Parashakti Akashic reading at 12 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And you will be able to have the most beautiful darshan of Parashakti. Please make sure that you are signing in, tuning in at that time. Share with all of your friends and share with all of your family members, everyone whom you think, and we can ensure that as many people as possible are tuning in right now for the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading live with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gracing us in the form of Devi Parashakti. It's going to be an amazing experience, and I invite each and every one of you as we get ready and we are slowly getting closer and closer towards the time to have the Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. Start thinking of and preparing your questions, whatever you want to ask, request the healing or request any boons, or have the profound revelations of the past, present, and future on which you would like to ask and request Devi Parashakti's guidance at this time. It will be a beautiful way that you can personally interact with Devi Parashakti. Now, you can ask a question on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, or on Facebook, and it's a very easy process as well. You're on Facebook, you can, on the live video, you can ask your questions in the comment section. On YouTube, if you are a member of the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, you can ask your questions on the YouTube chat, and it's a very exclusive place where you can chat and interact personally with Devi Parashakti. You can ask your questions, you can request boons, you can request for healing, you can request for wealth or long-lasting relationships in your life, whatever that you want in your life, you can ask and be blessed with the grace of Devi Parashakti. You also have an option to ask your questions on Twitter, and you can ask your questions by hitting reply to the live feed tweet and using the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. And in that hashtag, you can ask your question. With that hashtag, you can ask your question, and you can request any of the boons that you want, and make sure that it is in the thread for the live video. And also we have an option on Instagram. If you would like to ask your question on Instagram, then you can ask your questions on the recent post, the post for today for the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. And as well, if you would like to, if you're not social media savvy and you don't know what social media is, you're not very comfortable with it, then you can ask your question on WhatsApp. Through WhatsApp, you can go to kailasa.org and ask your question for Devi Parashakti through WhatsApp. So now that you know how you can ask your question today, we can enter into the next segment of the program, where we will be understanding more and more into the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And as it is still July, the official Hindu Persecution and Hindu Holocaust Awareness Month, we are continuously sharing with each and every one of you the details of what is going on, what is currently happening, and what has been happening for more than 2 decades. The atrocities that have been implemented against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and not just the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but how that literally just that what has happened over the last 27 years is a hologram of the entire Hindu Holocaust that has been going on for 1,000 years. And if you contrast the amount of work the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done for empowerment of humanity to the amount that he has been literally tortured at the hands of the anti-Hindu militant terrorists that are actively rampaging and destroying Hinduism in all different ways, we would be absolutely shocked at how much has been going on. If I can just give an example of the empowerment of women that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously dedicated himself for the last more than 2 decades. Can I just ask, have you ever heard of a place where a woman can walk absolutely safely at night alone in the dark? Have you ever heard of a place where homes are free of violence and the environment is free of discrimination, where women can express themselves freely as yoginis, rudrakanyas, as Bhairavis, as sannyasis, and where you can live a life absolutely free from fear and conflict, not just with equality, but with infinite possibility. You can discover the freedom of enlightenment itself. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally made happen successfully through Kailasa and the revival of the Hindu enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism literally made a place, created an environment in Adi Kailash itself, where without any fear, without any discrimination, without any conflict, a woman can live absolutely freely for her ambition in life and achieve her ultimate possibility. And this very ecosystem, as we all know, is absolutely rare on planet Earth this day and age, where we're facing workplace discrimination, we're facing gang rape in public streets, and especially in a country where the violence against women is absolutely abysmal. And the statistics of the violence against women is simply through the roof. And we have not seen the change in this matter for at least a century. Where did it all start? How did this happen, and how can we solve it? In fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been the world's leading advocate and working towards the empowerment of women, working towards ensuring that we can end violence against women once and for all, eliminate it entirely. And if you envision a world where women are absolutely free from violence, then the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is really the only hope. And if we do not intervene right now and ensure that Hindu solutions are used in order to create violence-free ecosystems around the world, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been doing with more than 2,500 satsang centers and so many huge ecosystems ongoing, we know we will not be able to even see the next generation sustain itself without having the violence against women become worse and worse, and it'll simply go out of hand. We need to understand, especially with the violence against women that is happening in India and the numerous reports of femicide, it is only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who has actively been able to voice out the acts of violence against women in an international and shed light into the violence that has been made invisible, that has been underreported and not reported at all and made absolutely invisible. The violence that is ongoing in marginalized communities of India, as well as all over the world with the global Hindu diaspora. And there has always been an extremely thought through and cunning strategy that anti-Hindu militant forces have used against the anti-Hindu militant forces have used against all of the people and all of the indigenous minorities in India, a strategy which would silence the whole public and which would not even create an alarm in the international audience. This strategy is with the use of propaganda, with the use of extremely cunning and strategic elements to invade and infiltrate into Hindu communities and destroy it from the inside out. All of this is a strategy been done by anti-Hindu militant forces for thousands of years. And we have seen for the last 1,000 years how against Hindu women specifically, the amount of violence that has been done against them is terrifying, to say the least. Horrifying to see how much violence and brutal force was used against the Hindu women, where literally the heads of the babies of women and mothers would be garlanded around them, where they will be enslaved and moved in cages from town to town as the Mughal invaders had been continuously rampaging, invading, and looting town after town, temple after temple. And we have seen the record of the number of women who have immolated themselves because they were fearful of the absolutely terrifying acts of their invaders, who would even dehumanize them and dehumanize their dead bodies as well. And not only that, the sacred women of Sanatana Hindu Dharma have always been entirely sexualized and objectified by the propaganda schemes implemented by anti-Hindu militant forces. For example, the sexualization of Rudra Kanyas was a crime done against the most sacred women in the Hindu civilization. And the objectification of them started in the propaganda that the Mughals and the British had implemented in the society. They had first were continuously trying to project in British media and the different forms of media at that time, like newspapers, books, and in different magazines, in the media at that time, continuously trying to project Rudra Kanyas as prostitutes. And first, they themselves would rape and dehumanize, slave the Rudra Kanyas, and slave the Rudra Kanyas, and then they would project all of the Rudra Kanyas as prostitutes and women with no chastity. And then they would strategically implement laws in order to so-called reduce the crime that they themselves had started in the society. And we have seen this in so many different examples. And even today, as of the Madras Act of the 1800s, there has been absolutely no legal recourse to reverse the laws against and the crimes against the women of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the Rudra Kanyas. Even today, it is illegal for women to be employed and to be to work because of the propaganda that they created, as if women were being used and enslaved in the temples. But it was the anti-Hindu forces who had started these crimes against us. And from that time, the Hindu women, the Rudra Kanyas, were always sacred women who were literally the Sangha Jananis, as in the mothers of the whole Sangha, who held the community together and held the whole society together, and were responsible administrators for the entire temple ecosystem. But due to the absolute horrendous crimes of the Mughal invaders, this lineage was entirely stamped out. And continuously, women were enslaved, and women ultimately were stamped out, and the roles of administration, the roles of warriors for all of the women, the roles of the beautiful roles, and the ways that women took responsibility in society was slowly dismantled until the Hindu woman was forced not to do anything but be subject to a domestic married life. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the truth was that the Hindu ideal woman was a responsible member of society. And in fact, the entire society was a matriarchal civilization. In fact, Devi Meenakshi herself had established this matriarchal civilization and run a whole kingdom, the largest civilization at that time on planet Earth. And yet, seeing the richness of the Hindu culture, the terrorist forces needed to steal that, loot it entirely for themselves, and thus an entire civilization was enslaved. And the worst part of it is that today, continuously, we are seeing the denial of the Hindu Holocaust. If you see even the anti-Hindu who had gone against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, they continuously denied the Holocaust of the entire Hinduism itself. And they deny the 1,000-year genocide against Hindus. And even masochists and misogynists of society always deny the inequality, the discrimination, the sexual objectification, and the outright violence done against women. And in this society like this, where I myself, and I know so many other women, would not even be able to hear of one relative or one mother, cousin, who would not know or who would themselves not be subject to violence. And that is the current situation of women and Hindu women today, continuously being targeted by anti-Hindu terrorist forces and being used as a weapon against the entire civilization itself. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism today has helped and ensure, even in the very history itself, that the amount of underreporting that is going on, the amount of violence that is going on, the crimes against women that is going on, is being shed light on in India. And as of even just last week, the UN Special Rapporteur for Femicide, who reports to the United Nations on different reports of the femicide ongoing in various places around the world. Every year, they come up with a report on how the violence against women is being done, and how there are very peaceful strategies being used, bringing light those strategies to the international audience so that those strategies can be implemented, and ultimately promoting peace and conflict-free life, just as, of course, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is spearheading in an extremely grand way. So the UN Special Rapporteur always gives these reports, and this year, the UN Special Rapporteur has recognized the work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in order to create a female femicide observatory and ensure that the crimes against women are absolutely eliminated. And foremost, among all the leaders who are doing something for women, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has actively created thousands of ecosystems that are absolutely violence-free, just absolutely violence-free in homes and outside in the streets. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has empowered women with their infinite possibility, with more than 2/3 of leadership positions around Kailasa in the global civilizational nation actually being being held by women. And not only that, but economic empowerment being given to women, and empowerment being given to women who want to start their small businesses. Empowerment being given to women who want to take up their own tradition and who are fighting for religious freedom. For women who want to be sannyasis, for women who want to be rudrakanyas. Violence against women who are sannyasis and sacred Hindu women in India is absolutely abysmal. And if we see the reports on violence against women, specifically on the Hindu women, it'll be just devastating and terrifying to see that. And if we can say, just in the ecosystem of Kailasa, in an ecosystem where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created a beautiful, violence-free, safe ecosystem for women to express themselves and take up leadership positions and literally empower themselves rightfully and for their own fulfillment and for the purpose of enlightenment. In a very perfect ecosystem such as that, the anti-Hindu militant terrorists were able to infiltrate and to brutally violate the rights of women with so many attacks against women in Kailasas across the world, in Kailasas in India, as well as internationally. The women of Kailasa have undergone so much. If it is either brutal rape, blackmail, sexual objectification in the media, whatever it is, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been advocating and giving each and every one of us women in Kailasa a safe space to heal from the trauma that we might have been subject to by anti-Hindu militant forces, and has also given each and every one of us a voice in order to share our story and to tell that we are not the only ones, and perhaps it might just be us who are able to, by the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to be able to voice out the crimes against women that have been happening against the women of Kailasa, but also the fact that still the violence in communities, in marginalized communities, in Hindu communities has not stopped and is only worsening. And if we don't do anything now, the situation will only get worse. And if we just take the example of one sannyasi, there are so many, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened up an observatory in order to report all of the different acts of violence against women in different communities, focusing in on the marginalized communities that have been made invisible, including the communities surrounding ancient indigenous communities such as the Tondemandalam Adinam, the Tanjavur Adinam, and the 4 ancient kingdoms that were once ancient kingdoms but are today reduced to marginalized communities and simply made invisible. And these places, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started to create the ecosystems for reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma and empowering women. And actively, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had empowered women to take up the life of sanya. But just for this reason, the women of Kailasa were attacked and used as a weapon against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself in the worst possible, and even projected in the media, sexually objectified in the media continuously. Even minor girls being objectified in the media, being sexualized in the media. These are the kinds of crimes that the anti-Hindu militant forces have done against the ancient Hindu communities and the Hindu children and Hindu women. And as the foremost leader empowering women all over the world, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has ensured that finally the violence against women going on against Hindu women and even Hindu women in India, as well as Hindu women in the global Hindu diaspora, is being voiced out in an international platform. And this is the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has ensured that the violence against women is absolutely eliminated. And the way that the anti-Hindu militant terrorist forces continuously strategized with more than 14,000 hours of media coverage of hate speech and discriminatory content, with violence against all of the women of Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, and with brutal physical acts of violence against all the different adinams and properties, where literally the adinams were destroyed. And even now we have the evidence, we have foolproof evidence that these adinams were destroyed, that anti-Hindu militant forces had literally raided the adinam and had destroyed all the different properties, have turned over the cars, have destroyed and attacked female sannyasis, have raped and gang raped female sannyasis, and yet there's still no legal recourse. A woman who is attacked, for example, if I can take the example of Ma Nitya Achalananda Swami, or Ma Nitya Bhaktikananda Swami, or Ma Nitya Jnanatmananda Swami. In 2012, they were attacked in a raid against the Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham, when anti-Hindu militant forces had raided the entire Adinam and brutally raped the Adinavasis, the female Adinavasis. And among the group that was physically assaulted and raped was Ma Nitya Achalananda Swami and Ma Bhaktikananda Swami, as well as Ma Jnanatmananda Swami, and 16 other sannyasis who were physically assaulted, raped, sexually objectified, and all of this being publicly broadcasted in the media. And yet what happened against these women? Within 24 hours, the women, without even being told, without even understanding why, these women were arrested by authorities who had illegally arrested them, even though it was absolutely illegal to do so. In India, it is illegal to detain a woman past 6 p.m. at night, and it is against the law to detain a woman overnight in any type of cell or authorities which is not her home. Yet, these 16 women in 2012 were kept for overnight in a cell, and in that time, not even being told that the anti-Hindu militant forces were actively trying to file cases against them, and being subject to the most brutal ridicule, harassment, and violence by the authorities in question and in control in that situation. These are the exact rights that we are being denied. Simply the right against not being arbitrarily arrested is stated in the UN Declaration of Human Rights. The right not to be arbitrarily arrested, the right to live a conflict-free life. These are our basic human rights as declared by the United Nations, and yet we have simply not been able to even voice out the crimes done against us. Pleading, we went to different police stations, we went to different authorities, we went to different judges, we went to every single authority in hand, in control. We went internationally. And yet only now, finally, because of the continuous persistence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to continuously ensure that he makes himself available to each and every one of us and ends violence against women entirely. Now, the women of Kailasa have the voice, at least one voice, in the United Nations. And in fact, in the United Nations website for the special rapporteur for femicide, the Kailasa is listed among all of the civil society organizations that are actively working in order to stop and eliminate violence against women. And the report of the violence against women done against women of Kailasa was submitted to the UN and accepted and is now published on the UN Special Rapporteur for Femicide page in the UN Commission for Human Rights website. And this is an amazing victory for each and every one of us who has been literally crying, desperately searching for at least some way, a voice where we can express what has happened to us, the violence which has happened against us. And it is all due to the hard work, the sacrifice of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Because it's not as if, not without the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism having undergone so much and sacrificed so much, himself going through more than 70 assassination attempts. Continuously, we've been seeing the violence against women that has been happening. And the women who have always, for no reason other than that what they wanted was to live the lifestyle of a sannyasi, or live the Hindu lifestyle that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was reviving. For no reason other than this, being attacked and brutally raped, blackmailed, sexually objectified in the media, and the worst, being used as a weapon against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself in their act, in their strategy and cunning manipulation to try to destroy the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And in 2012, the very women who had been brutally raped, who had been attacked, and that attack being broadcasted in the media, as you can see, this is the exact attack that we are showing right now. As you can see, the attacks against the administrators and the women of the whole Adinam, and each and every one of them was attacked brutally, some of them needing to be rushed to the hospital, some of them needing to recover from the acts of violence done against them, but without any ounce of sympathy. Within just 24 hours, the state authorities had come inside once again, and without even telling the women, they had arrested the women and taken them and detained them overnight. You can see some of the absolute violence that is ongoing here against the sannyasis of the Nityananda order in Pavalakundru. And not only that, there's been violence against the sannyasis in the ancient kingdoms of Tanjavur and Tiruvarur and Vedaranyam and Panchanadikulam. You can see here literally the women who had literally collapsed after the rape done against her, and the sannyasis are trying to rush her to the hospital. People are stopping them. This is the extent of the violence against women that has happened. We have seen the worst kinds of violence that has happened against the women of Kailasa, and not succumbing to this and standing to eliminate the violence is only the supreme pontiff of Hinduism. Even if you see the attacks that happened in 2017, again, a woman has fallen, a sannyasi has fallen because the brutal rape done against her, and all of us Hindu sannyasis, the women sannyasis, were helping her and rushing her to the hospital in order to make sure that she has the medical treatment required. And we were rushing in that sense. And still the raids against the Adinam were happening, the destruction against the Adinam was happening. Amidst all of that, all we're trying to do is help each other, protect each other, and desperately ensure that we are some way staying alive. You can see here the destruction against the very Adinam. You can see that the whole Adinam, the cars, those are our vehicles, and we were trying to desperately rush to the hospital, and each and every one of us was trying to desperately rush to the hospital, while after one of us had fallen and had fainted and collapsed after the brutal rape done against her, we were trying to rush her to the hospital, and immediately the anti-Hindu militant forces had come and pushed over, literally, you can see the footage now, more than 100 of them had come and pushed over the vehicles, had entirely destroyed the CCTV camera footage, had destroyed and punctured the tires in all of the vehicles. And all we're trying to do is rush our sister Sannyasi to the hospital so that we can get her aid and we can keep her alive, because she was bleeding profusely. That was what we're trying to do, while all the anti-Hindu militant forces were making sure that we couldn't do anything. And even afterward, we would not even be able to present the footage and present the evidence to the police, because they had literally destroyed the CCTV camera footage. Even though millions of dollars were spent in ensuring that every nook and cranny of the Adinams were filmed and under CCTV camera footage, as you can see here, the first thing they attack always is making sure that we don't have any evidence. And one by one, each and every one of the CCTV cameras was entirely destroyed. Even I was present in this attack against while the anti-Hindu Hindu elements had attacked the Trishulam Adinam. And from personal experience, I can say that it was the worst experience of my life, seeing the amount of guerrilla attacks against peaceful Hindu sannyasis. In this moment, in that attack, all of us literally were trying to hide in a corner and protect ourselves, all of myself and all my sister sannyasis, trying to protect ourselves, holding on to each other, praying to Swamiji, praying to Kala Bhairava that we are protected. And at that moment, we thought that literally we would not make it out of this alive. Little did we know at that exact time, one of us in another cabin was being attacked and she was losing her life, literally. So we all rushed to her, and you can see the footage. We actually all rushed to her, and we were helping her out of the cabin and trying to rush her to the hospital because she was bleeding profusely, unable to even walk, unable to even think for herself, unable to communicate. She was not even able to cry or say anything. The amount of absolute devastation she had gone through, I saw, and we're absolutely helpless to do anything for her. Minutes went by as her life literally was going, and in the meantime, the cars were being throttled and thrown over, each and every one of the tires being punctured, leaving us with no way out. Somehow, we were able to call a volunteer, a local volunteer, to immediately rush and come to the Adinam. And that volunteer, that devotee of Swamiji, had immediately appeared within just 15 minutes and had rushed to the site and helped us to take our sister Sannyasi to the hospital. At that moment, we could not rely on even the police cars that were present in the Adinam and that were there. We could not even ask them for help to rush our sister Sannyasi to the hospital as she was losing her life after a brutal rape done against her. We could not even rush her. We could not even ask the authorities. All our cars, our vehicles, everything was destroyed. And we were just trying to protect ourselves and save ourselves and save our sister Sannyasi. And at that time, because of the love and devotion that that devotee had for Swamiji, he immediately showed up and rushed to the scene and helped us take our sister Sannyasi to the hospital and save her life. Like this, we have seen so many different acts of violence. In this footage, as you're seeing, another brutal incident where the women sannyasis are being raped, even with children present, and even the children needing to be subject to sexual violence. And then protecting, as you can see, they are simply protecting their own deities, holding on to their deities, and with their own life protecting the deities and trying to save themselves. Whether it is the women or our brothers sannyasis who have done everything to defend us, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who himself made himself subject to so much of attack, assassination attempts, and brutal violence. Continuously, as a community, we have been trying to fight. We've been trying to sustain ourselves, defend ourselves, as literally one by one, so many of us are being violated. Today, it brings us so much of relief, so much of happiness and victory that finally the United Nations has recognized the persecution ongoing against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Because ultimately, even with having undergone so much of violence, even having been victim to rape, to gang rape, to brutal assaults, nothing brings more pain in our lives than seeing the one being who has stood up for each and every one of us, the one being who has protected each and every one of us, empowered each and every one of us like a true father, and like Paramashiva himself, who has come down to aid and protect us and to empower us, to raise us. Swamiji has gone through so much, and Swamiji has literally been through so much for all of us, ultimately, to live in this Hindu ecosystem. Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has undergone physical attacks against himself and as well as character assassination against his character, and the so much of work that he has done that is absolutely destroyed as well. And either with the incessant lawfare using and filing illegal, baseless, more than 120 baseless allegations in the course of a few weeks were filed in 2010 against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Or using brutal attacks where in just a matter of 3 and 4 days, every single Adinam in India was raided, trespassed, was burnt down, all the books burned, and all of everything being just simply destroyed within just 3 or 4 days. And I can list out the number of women, as you can see here, as you've been seeing, the number of women who have literally been assaulted, brutally raped, gang raped, and each one of us trying to protect each other, trying to raise each other and hold on to each other, even in the moments of the extreme brutal attack. It happened in Trishoolam, it happened in Gujarat, it happened in Bidadi, where all of us have been through so much. But nothing brings more pain than seeing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism undergo 10,000 times more than us, and literally himself going through so much of attack. Because as women, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only leader, the only being in the whole world who has stood up for each and every one of us to be empowered, to live the empowered lifestyle, to end discrimination and violence. As you can see here, this is the footage from the attacks against Trishoolam, which I myself was present, as well as all my sister sannyasis. And I can say that in a moment of attack, when literally we were being stoned almost to death, we had called Swamiji, and each and every one of us were praying to Swamiji. And at that moment, the leader, the Mahanitya Bhaktikananda Swami, who was the administrator, had been able to reach and communicate to Swamiji that we were under attack. And that moment, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said, I'm sending Kalabhairava right now there. Don't worry, I'm going to take care. It will stop now. And just like that, within a few minutes, the attack had calmed down. And only then we were able to move out of our cabins and go out and begin the recovery. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally been the only being, and today is the only hope to end violence against women and end all violence against women. The Supreme Council of Hinduism has taken a strong stand in order to protect each and every one of us and go through anything in order to protect each and every one of us. And not only that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taken so many different types of action in order to establish these violence-free Hindu ecosystems around the world. And now, with the help of the United Nations, where the United Nations has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and has helped bring the persecution to an international platform and has helped bring international audience to listen to the violence that has been going on for so many thousands of years against Hindu women. And in that way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally been able to help each and every one of us and empowered each and every one of us to live the Hindu lifestyle that we want to, out of our own strong voice and our own decision. Each and every one of us, women of Kailasa, took up this lifestyle of wanting to live the Hindu lifestyle, of standing for our sacred sentiments, and of standing for the deep, beautiful declarations of Sanatana Hindu Dharma that we are Paramashiva, and fearlessly standing for that. And it was the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who has unconditionally stood for each and every one of us and supported each and every one of us as guru in our lives and helped us realize that and is continuously working towards ensuring that we will raise to that ultimate reality, the ultimate reality that we decided we wanted to stand for and live the life of religious freedom. And whether it comes down to reporting crimes, violence, and femicide in marginalized communities and the indigenous Hindu women who are subjugated and made invisible by misogynist, sexist institution, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been the foremost leader in ensuring that all the crimes are reported either first through the local police stations, then to the courts in states, then to even the Supreme Courts and higher judicial systems. And even then, when there was no legal recourse, now taking that to the international platform and the international level. And also, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has spearheaded and ensured that the research and studies undertaken to analyze femicide or gender-related killings and gender-related violence is being continued and has in Kailasa itself through Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for feminine empowerment has basically created this kind of observatory where the reports for the number of women who are undergoing violence and the research for how to strategically and successfully create an ecosystem that is absolutely conflict-free be established through Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for feminine empowerment. And not only that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally given such beautiful solutions and concrete measures to improve the support to victims of violence and to prevent femicide. And this might be through either physically protecting the victims or targets in monasteries, through protective ecosystems, or providing healing through proven ancient therapeutic methods of removing trauma and pain, and also through empowering women with leadership roles and supporting women in traditional business, through economic empowerment, through, of course, through the end of bringing an end to the violence. And also the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has as well ensured to continuously report and also work towards the result and analysis of femicide cases, and by providing guidance and empowering victims to seek legal justice and recourse for the crimes done against them, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously ensuring that the legal systems as well are held accountable for the amount of violence that is ongoing in India. And as well, the UN Special Rapporteur has recognized the amount of work that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been seeing, and in several occasions ensured that even the solutions the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been making and has offered to the world through the Kailasa ecosystems is actually implemented and can be implemented in various ecosystems across the world. As I was saying before, have we even heard of a place where women can feel absolutely safe walking out alone at night, especially in India? Have we even heard of a place where a woman can freely, safely, knowing that she is absolutely protected, walk outside alone at night? I myself can tell you that I have lived in a place, and that is Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, where I can feel absolutely protected at night walking alone in the dark. And that is because of the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created. From India, we have heard so many, numerous cases of gang rapes happening at night, of brutal violence and assault happening right out on the street in the pitch dark. But in a place such as that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally created a safe harbor for all women to live, and a place where homes are free of violence, and a place in an environment free of discrimination, a place where women can express themselves as yoginis, rudrakanyas, bhairavis, as sannyasi, and not just express themselves with equality and different human rights, but with infinite possibility, with the possibilities that Sanatana Hindu Dharma promises to each and every one beyond our human logical understanding. And that is the very place that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created. Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham is the very model ecosystem where a woman can walk out alone at night in the dark and not even feel 1 ounce of insecurity. She would not even feel 1 ounce of insecurity. She will not feel that somebody is following her or somebody attack her. And she would not even have 1 ounce of that fear. That is the beauty of Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created. Not just in Adi Kailash, but in thousands of places all over the world, where women can fearlessly take up leadership positions. And in fact, all over the world today, Kailasa has the most number of women in leadership positions compared to any nation in the world, with 2/3 of leadership positions being filled by women themselves in Kailasa. Whether it is any of the Sri Mahants, the Mahants, the Kotaris, in the governmental structure of Kailasa, or whether it is in the structure across the world in various different temples and ecosystems that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created, women are naturally empowered to take up these leadership positions and serve the world with the beautiful teachings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And yet, still, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, though he has been continuously advocating for the empowerment of women and has done literally the most compared to any leader in the world to empower women, still, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism undergoes so much of attack day in and day out. Whether it is on the internet, through cyber terrorism, or through physical attacks, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone literally the worst kinds of attacks for nothing. The truth is that as a society, we must bring an end to the violence going on in our communities, and especially the violence against women. In the United Nations, and as well as international organizations working towards peace all over the world, whether it is in France, in Switzerland, in United States, all the international organizations see violence against women as the primal and priority agenda that we have to achieve within even the next 9 years. In fact, the United Nations has made it a goal to end violence against women by 2030. Are we able to do that right now? Are we able to, as a global society, able to fulfill the goals that we wanted to end all violence by 2030? Only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally been able to produce the model ecosystems of creating absolutely violence-free communities and standing continuously to end all violence against women and eliminate violence against women. If we don't do something right now, and if we don't apply and see the value in the teachings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma right now, we will see the continued violence against women and the conditions of violence against women in India and Hindu women all over the world continuously worsen. We will not even be able to see our next generation live on without seeing the worst happen to each and every one. And each and every one of us, Hindus especially, we are responsible for the amount of attacks and responsible for not standing up until now. Perhaps the attacks have been brutal. Perhaps again and again and again we have been attacked. But it is only our fault, and only the blame can come on us if we do not stand up again. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made just simply standing up an extremely easy thing, because he is standing as our foremost leader for the global Hindu diaspora of 2 billion Hindus all over the world. Each and every one of us Hindus must understand the plight of Hindu women in India, of each and every Hindu woman who is undergoing so much of violence, who is facing so much of poverty, who is unable to provide for her own family. Each Hindu should know that we are graced by Paramashiva, and for having and living at the same time as the avatar, the incarnation of Paramashiva, and we are graced to be born in a tradition where we have such beautiful sacred Hindu sentiments, which can naturally empower Hindu women, which can naturally empower every single person in humanity itself, with such the most powerful, empowering tradition with us. Hindus must realize that it is our responsibility now to stand up. I request each and every one of you who is joining today to share this live program in all of the different various social media platforms. Please share and ensure that at least one more person, your friends, your family, whom you know will listen and understand, and whom you'll just say, hey, I saw this today, I feel it's good, I feel that we should do something, then you can please share this program link and spread the message, and also share that the link for the UN Special Rapporteur who has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please take a few minutes and you can share right now with all your friends, with all your family, and we'll be right back and continuing today's program after a quick break. Yes, completing with all the viewers for that technical bit. I request each and every one of you to take a few minutes now. Let's go to Twitter and let us tweet using the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The hashtag is in the scroll below, and you can use this hashtag and share the link for the UN report, which has been recognized by the UN, and the page for where the UN has recognized and literally listed Kailasa as among the organizations that has been helping. So you can go to Twitter right now and use the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And you in this hashtag, yes, and we'll be right back with you to continue today's program after a very quick break.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home, without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution.
and setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Ekailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper offer customized spiritual service, helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected millions of people from all cultures.
Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, and welcome everyone on today's segment. In this segment, as we are celebrating the happening of the Guru, Lord Paramashivam, himself happening as Guru in our life, as we are celebrating the Guru Purnima, in this segment, we would like to share the offerings from around the world, the Kailasas and the devotees and people around the world, showing their humble gratitude and offering to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Today, we would like to share the proclamations and commendations that we receive from around the world. We received hundreds of proclamations and commendations letters from around the world. From various countries, including the USA, Canada, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, Liberia, Lebanon, New Zealand, Ecuador, Brazil, South Sudan, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, the Netherlands, South Korea, Germany, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and many more countries. These proclamation letters on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism were received from various dignitaries, government officials, indigenous leaders, faith leaders, artists, professionals, NGO heads, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and more. As we show our gratitude to all those who have given their commendation letter and proclamations, we would like to thank the Honorable Sam Liccardo, Mayor of City of San Jose, California, USA, for his commendation letter. Thank you. Thank you, Governor, Enoro Puloy, Melikiok State, the Republic of Palau, for your proclamation. Thank you, Councillor Javed Mohammed, Siparia Regional Corporation, Electoral District of Otaheite, Trinidad and Tobago, for your commendation letter. Thank you, Ms. Patrice Huang, Director, HSBC Private Banking, Hong Kong, for your proclamation letter.
We'd like to extend our thanks to Ricardo Bharat Hernandez, Chief and President of the Santa Rosa First Peoples Community from Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for your commendation letter. And thank you so much to Kayanja Vincent De Paul, Chairman of the Lake Victoria Regional Local Authorities Cooperation, East Africa from Uganda. Thank you so much for your proclamation. Thank you so much to Joshua Kitakule, Secretary General of the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda from Kampala, Uganda. Thank you for your proclamation. And thank you to Ms. Maristela Basso, Associate Professor from the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Thank you for your commendation letter. And thank you to Feng An Luan, the President of the Rotary Club Taipei, Taiwan. Thank you for your proclamation letter. And thank you also to the Vice President of the Rotary Club Taipei, Taiwan, to Ms. Shuang Gua Ye. Thank you for your proclamation. And thank you to Mr. Alberto Peña Moscoso, Managing Partner of Expertise Abogados of Ecuador. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Mr. Rabi Fakri, Attorney at Law from Lebanon. Thank you for your commendation letter.
Thank you, Commander Amelia B.T. Gibson, Immigration Support Unit from the Republic of Liberia, for your proclamation letter. We'd like to thank Advocate Reach Malual, spokesperson, South Sudan Bar Association, South Sudan, for your proclamation. We'd like to thank Advocate Wal Madud Aib, the Ancestral Advocates, South Sudan. Thank you for your proclamation. Now from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, thank you, Manitya Jalandhara Shita Ananda, from Victoria Education District, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh Rupla, Manager, Amaras Jewelry Collection, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you, Ms. Holly Ja Zinham, Owner, Yahoo, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now from the United States of America, thank you, Mr. Ashok Desai, Desai Diversified Investments, California, USA, for all the proclamation letters and commendation letters. Thank you, Mr. John Billingsley, President, Hollywood Food Coalition, USA. Thank you for your commendation letter.
Now let us move to the Republic of Singapore. Thank you to Mr. Peter Fang from Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Jayagari Giridharan, Business Associate and Partner of Windmill Management Associates, Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Yu Chen Yang, Director of Bedak North, Director from Bedak North, Singapore. Thank you for your proclamation. And thank you to Ananda Shraddha and Nitya Ramya, Krishna and Nitya Prasadini, Directors of Nitya Ramya Private Limited from Singapore. Thank you so much for your commendation letter. And thank you to Ma Nitya Mahakalananda from Kalakasha Company from Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter. And thank you to Edna Ann Lee Ling, founder of Your Future Forward from Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter.
Thank you, Mr. Jameson, Manager of the Food Bank Singapore Limited, Singapore, for your commendation letter. Thank you, Manitya Durgananda, Founder, Your Presence Here, Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you, Manitya Jadashaktikananda, Founder, Always in Bliss, Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you, Manitya Maha Adbhuta Charitrananda, Yanglin, Founder, Mindworks Academy Private Limited, Singapore. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you, Ms. Suching Yao, Human Education and Training Workers, Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now from the Republic of Liberia, Bestman De Canto, Founding and Managing Director, Bestville Enterprise, the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for your proclamation. Now from New Zealand, Ms. Bhakti Todi, Physiotherapist in HCA, New Zealand. Thank you for your commendation letter. Mr. Stefan Lukan, Director, Sanatana 2013 Limited, New Zealand. Thank you for your commendation letter. Shiva Bhaskar, Sri Nitya Gautamananda, IT Infrastructure Engineer, Advaita Investments Limited, New Zealand. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ma Vidya Bharati Tangaya, Ma Nitya Deva Vedantananda, IT Business Analyst, Advaita Investments Limited, New Zealand. Thank you for your commendation letter. Mr. Murali Krishna Magesan, Director, Advaita Investments Limited, New Zealand. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now from Malaysia, Tirumurthy, son of Periyaswamy, Selangor Hindu Community Leader, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Cheng Pei Ang, Taiping, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yoke Keng, Self-Employed, Kota Puteri, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Guani Chan, Johar Bahru, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Guan Xian Chan, Johor Bahru, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Nelly Liu, Selangor, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Cindy Sinyi He, Sarawak, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Sally Ui Pai Kwat, Johor, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter.
And thank you to Chan Guan Siu, a composer from Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. And thank you to Shirena Le Wasim from Taiping, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. And thank you to Peng Li Jin from Johor, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. And thank you to T. Suk Ting, business owner from Johor, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Harichand Balasubramaniam from Penang, Malaysia. Thank you for your proclamation. Thank you to Tek Chi Wong, Director from 3 Business Solutions from Malaysia. Thank you for your proclamation. Thank you to Lo Wee Jun from Taiping, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Leong Lian Fung from Johor, Malaysia. Thank you so much for your commendation letter. Thank you to Lau Yu Zuan from Johor, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Radha Lu Pai Si from Shah Alam, Malaysia. Thank you for your commendation letter.
Now from Australia, Wee Huang, Sydney, Australia. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now from the Netherlands, Wei Ping Ding, Utrecht, the Netherlands. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now moving to Canada, Ms. Sheila Zeng, Richmond, Canada. Thank you for your commendation letter. Now from South Korea, In Shi Piao, Bucheon, South Korea. Thank you letter. From the Federal Republic of Germany, Zhu Ji Yu, Dresden, Germany. Thank you for your commendation letter. People's Republic of China, Fan Jin, Foshan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Shandrong Yu from Hubei, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Min Zhao from Wuhan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Fan Xiao from Wuhan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yu Yin Song from Heilongjiang, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Dao Min Yan from Heilongjiang, China. Thank you for your commendation. Xiaolin Li from Chongqing, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Bei O from Guangzhou, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Wang Hui from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Jen Chai Lin from Guangdong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Fan Jin from Guangdong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Wenxiang Wan, Zenab, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Chuan Yan Zhang from Jinan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Xiao He Zia from Suzhou, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ting Ting Yu from Liaoning, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Xia Ning from Shanxi, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Teng Fei Tian from Tianjin, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yan Mi Lian from Yangzhou, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Utle Hoi from Macau, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yazao Zhang from Zhejiang, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yonzhen Kuan from Macau, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Zhudan Li from Zhejiang, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Dan Li from Nanjing, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Xiahua Fan from Shandong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Fang Sen from Hunan, China. Thank you for your commendation. Shan Zhen from Hunan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Lingzi Zhang from Guangzhou, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Heiying Li from Anhui, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Peng Li Yan from Yunnan, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Zixuan Shan from Inner Mongolia, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yan Mi Lian from Uzhou, China. Thank you for your commendation letter.
Now moving on to Hong Kong, Thank you to Wan Jinzu, a student from Hong Kong. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Alice Se from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Wai Sing Chris Wang, an insurance broker from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Ananda Shankari, Director of Pur Nandini from Hong Kong. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Lee Sang Chun Jain and Ma Paramashantini, Directors from Spare of Purity and Awareness from Hong Kong. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Shi Hao Ryan Lee, an insurance manager from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Irene Huang from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Thank you to Li Qiang Zhu, a freelancer from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for your commendation letter. Moving on to Taiwan.
From Taiwan, Hong Zhu Chen from Yunlin, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. I'd like to thank Ho Chi Jun from Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Lo Zi Yu from Taoyuan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ying Wen Zhu from Taoyuan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Xu Ling Sun from Tainan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Chuan Zhu Li from Yilan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Brandy Chow from Pingtung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ichun Chuo from Taipei, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Peking Wu from New Taipei City, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Hong Su Chen from Yunlin, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Feng Fang Tseng from Taipei, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ting In Chu from Taoyuan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Chao Li Chia from Taoyuan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Anne Pao Ying from Taoyuan, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Se Zi Huang from New Taipei City, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Hong Lung Peng from Taipei, Taiwan. Thank you for your proclamation. Ms. Peng Ren Wang from Hualien City, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ms. Fang Ru Hao from Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Ki Hua Deng from Pingtung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Di Lan Fang from Pingtung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. Yi Ting Lo from Pingtung, Taiwan. Thank you for your commendation letter. And that brings us to the end of the sharings of the proclamations, and they are still pouring from around the world. to be offered to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So now as we continue with further offerings, releases from around the world.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything.
Nithyanandam, welcome back, dear viewers. And so far we saw the various commendation letters and proclamation letters from all across the globe that were offered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And now we are going to see some more releases that were offered from various departments of Kailasa. So the first one that we are going to be seeing is the Prasthanatraya, the offering of Prasthanatraya. Swamiji Paramashiva himself has bestowed this as a gift for the whole of humanity on the auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima. So let us now take a look at the Prasthanatrayi release.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa's Nithyananda University Press, under the Department of Education of Kailasa, is offering at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Prasthanatraya, the three major Hindu scriptures decoded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Prasthanatraya comprises of the three pillars, the essence of the 108 major Upanishads, the science of Jivan Mukti or living enlightenment, revealed by Paramashiva himself and repeated by the Nijavatara, the living incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Bhagavad Gita, the ultimate truths revealed by Bhagwan Sri Krishna in the timeless scripture of Bhagavad Gita, repeated for humanity today by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Brahma Sutras, the aphorisms of existence revealed by Bhagwan Vedavyasa, decoded and revealed again by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Jivan Mukti Bhashya also introduces the reader to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the founder of Kailasa, the revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The countless contributions of Kailasa to Hinduism and humanity at large. The 5,000-year-old Hindu Holocaust that is continuing as the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Kailasa.
Yes. So this is a Prasthanatraya. So the Prasthanatraya means the three major scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which are the 108 Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutras respectively. And these three put together are called Prasthanatrayi, means universally all Hindus, all the Sampradayas, all the traditions accept these as the fundamental major scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And the Jivan Mukti Bhashya is the commentary on the Prasthanatraya and the decoding of the Prasthanatraya by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the next release that we have is another beautiful release of Kailasa's Hindu Jurisprudence, the offering of Hindu Jurisprudence by Kailasa's Department of Justice.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa's Department of Justice, in collaboration with Kailasa's Nithyananda University Press under the Department. Nithyanandam. Kailasa's Department of Justice is offering at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Jurisprudence of Kailasa, Volume 1. This book describes the Dharma-based Hindu legal jurisprudence of Kailasa. The code details the juridical legislative tradition of Kailasa, which is based on the Veda Agamas and principles of life revealed and ordained by Paramashiva.
Yes. And the next offering that we have is another beautiful offering.
Actually, this is every Hindu, the way we know ourselves. It is based on what we have learned about Hinduism. See, the history literally determines 50% of the way how you cognize about yourself and your entire lineage. Unfortunately, for us Hindus, even in the history textbooks, we are taught our history as mythology. Ask anyone, the great scriptures like Ramayana, Mahabharata are taught as myths to us. They're not taught as history. We only learn our history with more of the Mughal invasions, British invasions, and not what rich lifestyle the Hindus had lived. What amazing, how Hinduism is a greater science of life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has now compiled this entire Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and this book is a small glimpse of that, which talks about the grand narrative of Hinduism. And as a gift to the whole of humanity, on the auspicious day of Guru Purnima, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gifted this book.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa's Department of Justice, in collaboration with Kailasa's Nithyananda University Press under the Department of Education of Kailasa, is offering at the Divine Lotus Feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, Kailasa, the Grand Narrative of Hinduism. This book introduces the reader to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the founder of Kailasa, the revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the countless contributions of Kailasa to Hinduism and humanity at large, the 5,000-year-old Hindu Holocaust that is continuing as the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Kailasa.
Now, as all of us are enjoying these major big releases, we also have another beautiful offering from Kailasa's Department of Education. One-stop shop for all of the Hindu scriptures, for you to be able to access all these scriptures on Hinduism, palm leaves, and learn about Hinduism sitting right on your couch, but accessing the authentic documents, accessing the authentic scriptures and authentic texts.
Actually, not just the texts, not just the scriptures, but everything about Hinduism. Whether literally a Wikipedia of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The Hinduismpedia, and this is a huge, actually this Guru Purnima, it has been a huge blessing for all the Hindus across the globe. Given that the way how during the pandemic especially, the increased rate of violence against Hindus, violence against Asians. So when all these are soaring high, this time the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally given some amazing boons, which will not just protect the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, but also to give the Hindus the individual strength. The strength that you have on yourself, the strength that you have about Sanatana Hindu Dharma, your very lifestyle. So this Guru Purnima was such an amazing blessing for all the 2 billion Hindus across the globe and humanity at large. The Sanatana Hindu Dharma is not just a religion, but it's a greater science of life. Now, this gift that we have from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is this Hinduismpedia. It is a compilation of everything that is Hindu. So let's have a look at it.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa Nithyananda Hindu Library under the Department of Education of Kailasa is offering at the Divine Lotus Feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Hinduismpedia is a work to organize and present all the Hindu scriptures available on the planet Earth digitally in multiple languages, authentic translation as it is without any manipulations and interpretations. All the Hindu scriptures from the Vedas, Agamas, Puranas, Smritis, Dharmashastras, the books written by the Acharyas, commentaries, Bhasyas, Tikas, Vartikas, everything available on the planet Earth, all the source books of Hinduism, commentaries on Hindu source books, everything available on the planet Earth as of now We are collecting, archiving, time capsuling, organizing, and making it available to the whole world. Today, we are offering a new user interface with a more organized presentation of digital books, wiki articles, dictionaries, and e-texts. With the blessing of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, we humbly offer the Hinduismpedia user interface at the feet of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Hinduismpedia is the Wikipedia of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So here it is for all of you. Please do visit it and please do get the best benefits out of them. The next that we have is another release from Kailasa's Department of Education and Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library, offering to us the Hindu compliance system. Like everything in Hinduism has a certain standard, a certain system of how it is supposed to happen. Right from the toothbrush that you use, right from the food that you eat, how a person who is interested in enlightenment should dress, how a person who is interested in business should dress. Everything, every aspect of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is beautifully explained to us. The science is beautifully revealed by Paramashivoham himself. Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library, in collaboration with Kailasa's Department of Education, has brought forth this beautiful offering of Kailasa's Hindu compliance system, and all of us can enjoy this offering as well.
Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library under the Department of Education of Kailasa is offering at the Divine Lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Kailasa's Hindu compliance system. Sanatan Hindu Dharma is not just a religion, it is a greater science. Hinduism is the most sophisticated scientific representation of existential truth, catered to every unique system of thought capable by the human mind. For the last 2 decades, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, has been reviving all the aspects of Hindu tradition which give life solutions to all problems. These life solutions from Veda Agama were once followed by more than 33% of entire mankind. Furthering his mission and vision of supporting humanity with the best of what Hinduism has to offer, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam has guided Hindu compliance system to formulate these life solutions from the Veda Agamas in the form of user-friendly Hindu standards. Hindu compliance system has a total of 600 standards from the various Agamas, Purana, Bhagasastra in 7 major categories: food standards, lifestyle standards, power manifestations, sacred arts, town planning, fashion standards, and temple managements and rituals. With the blessings of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, we humbly offer the Hindu compliance system website at the feet of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
the Hindu complaint system is a very beautiful offering brought forth by the Kailasa's Department of Education. It consists of 600 major standards brought forth to us from Agamas, Puranas, and various scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma in 7 major categories, which includes fashion standards, food standards, lifestyle standards, education standards, and so many more. Now, next, we have another beautiful offering from Kailasa's Department of Education in collaboration with Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library, which is bringing forth to us a beautiful digital library. Sitting where you are, you get to access some of the rarest maps of Sanatana Hindu Dharma library, and the best thing is everything completely available for something unimaginable and unfathomable what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing to the world. Because these scriptures are not just books, but they contain some of the rarest sciences, sacred secrets, many sciences, including the science of alchemy or the Vaimana Shastra, like the science behind aviation or everything, the gemology, astrology, and a range of other subjects. Shaivism, Kashmira Shaivism, Veera Shaivism, every subject to its core. If all the books are available to us and you can access it, that's the best news about it. So now let's have a look at this topic.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Digital Library under the Department of Education of Kailasa is offering at the Divine Lotus Feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Kailasa Nithyananda Hindu Digital Library, as part of the Hinduism PDL, is a work to organize and present all the Hindu scriptures available on the planet Earth digitally in multiple languages, authentic translation as it is, without any manipulations and interpretations. Kailasa Nithyananda Hindu Digital Library is presenting a new user interface, added collections of books and manuscripts. Also, we are presenting an added feature to catalog books and manuscripts through this interface. With the blessing of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, we humbly offer the digital library at the feet of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
The next gift that we have from Kailasa is a very, very, very exciting one. How many times have you thought, wow, today's my birthday, I would just like to have the live darshan of Bhagavan Kalavira, just get his blessings in. Or I'm just going to head out, I'm going to go and start this new project, and I would just like to have darshan of Swamiji. And so many times, all of us would have wondered how nice it would be. Like if I was there right now, if I was there in Adi Kailash, I would have just gone to have the darshan of the deities in temple, things like this. The most compassionate avatar has made this possible and accessible for all of us. We can have live darshan, including the darshan of the banyan tree, the Kalpataru, and the darshan of Bhagavan Nithyanandeshwara, Nithyanandeshwari, and the Nithyananda Linga and Swamiji. Like this, a range of deities from Adi Kailasa are digitally available live for all of us to have darshan. And there's also a prayer request form where you can fill in and ask whatever boons that you want to ask. and get the blessings from the deities directly. How more user-friendly can ever a temple be? This is it's just amazing. And Supreme Point of Hinduism has given this as gift to all of us. So stay tuned, where we are going to be sharing about that website now.
Presenting a new temple online ecosystem that is virtual, educational, and devotional. Kailasa's Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam is bringing Kailasa's temple ecosystem to you wherever you are. Become a part of this authentic Hindu experience. Stay up to date on all the latest happenings at the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam in Adi Kailas. Discover the Sarvajñapita, the seat of the Vedagamic knowledge. Experience live darshan of all the gods and goddesses in Kailasa and offer your worship and prayers. Don't miss out on the wonders of a temple ecosystem in your life.
Yes. And the next offering that we have is, now we saw about education and all and the temple, and next is from Kailasa's Department of Food and Agriculture, and Kailasa's Nithyananda Annalaya is bringing forth its offering of the Bhaga Shastra, the Hindu cookbook with 100 plus recipes now made available to us.
Actually, we eating having whatever food, the recipes, everything completely as per what prescribes. And this is something amazing. Not just learning the recipes of how to cook, but even learning the fundamentals of what is taste and how Paramashiva describes taste. What directly along with the pramanas, learning with the translation of Bhaga Shastra. So this is something very exciting. So now we are going to be seeing about this offering.
Annamidum Annayami Anandeshwari Nithya Anandeshwari Adi Shakti Nayaki Anandeshwari Nithya Anandeshwari Annamidum Annayami Anandeshwari Nithya Anandeshwari Adi Shakti Nayaki Anandeshwari
Nithyanandam. This is Manithya Jnanapriyananda on behalf of Kailasa's Nithyananda Annalaya Teamili is offering our most humble pranams at the divine feet of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. On this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima celebration, Kailasa's Nithyananda Annalaya is offering Volume 1 English translation of Hindu Paka Shastra, the science of Hindu cooking directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself to Devi Parashakti and revived by the 1008th living incarnation of Paramashiva, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. It's not only just food, but life itself is digested in the stomach. What makes Bhaka Shastra so remarkable is that every sphere of cooking is explained in minute and meticulous details. One dare say, no such cookbook exists today that can match the depth and breadth of wisdom on the science of cooking in this textbook. No facet of cooking is overlooked. The detailed properties of grains, vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, their qualities and impact on health, the shape and size of the utensils for cooking and storage, the method of cleaning, sorting, seasoning, pounding, grinding, frying, cooking, and the physical and the mental health of the cooks, Trigunas, Tridoshas, along with over 400 original recipes from across the subcontinent are directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself. We are very delightful to offer such an ancient wisdom of knowledge at the divine feet of our beloved Guru. And I take this opportunity to thank with full of heart to our Nithyananda Timili, Ma Nityananditananda, Ma Atira Suresh, Ma Rekha Rajesh, Vikesh, Kalyana Sundaram and Kavi Pradap for their contribution with utmost devotion and dedication and integrity to our beloved Guru. I seek Bhagavan's blessings for the entire team to be blessed with more Guru Bhakti and all auspiciousness. Thank you, Nithyanandam.
So this Annalaya's gift, Kailasa's Nithyananda Annalaya's gift of Bhaga Shastra is something that's not just useful for us seeing recipes, but literally something that will revolutionize the way we eat, the way how we experience the taste of it. So something amazing, amazing gift that we have been gifted with. The next offering that we have is a compilation of the Guru Gita chanting.
I still remember once, only one sloka of Guru Gita, Arunagiri Yogeshwara chanted and taught me. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim. That's only sloka he chanted and taught. Just put his hand on my head. I just know the whole Guru Gita got downloaded. Even now I can chant the whole Guru Gita. If you are an intense disciple and your Guru is intense Guru, I want to assure all my disciples, I am an intense Guru. I take myself very sincerely. I take my responsibility as Guru very sincerely.
Guru Tattva is respected and revered in Sanatana Hindu Dharma far more than any idea of God. The highest idea of God is given the seat of third eye, but Sahasrara, the crown center, is given to Guru Tattva. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the highest God you can experience is given third eye, means Anya Chakra. But the Guru Tattva is given Sahasrara. So understand, Hinduism itself is Guru Sampradaya.
Parvatyuvacha Om Namo Deva Devesha Parat Parajagat Guru Tvan Namaskurvate Bhaktya Sura Suranara Sada Vidhi Vishnu Mahendradyair Vandyaha Kalu Sada Bhavan Guru Seva Gaya Prokta Dehasya Dakshayo Vataha Tatpadam Vishnu Padam Syat Tatra Dattamanantakam Guru Murti Smare Nityam Guru Nama Sada Japet Guru Ragyam Prakurvita Guru Ranyanna Bhavayet Guru Vaktre Stitham Brahma Prapyate Tat
This is a very beautiful offering of Guru Gita, which is now available to us in English for us to read and enjoy. Next, we have a few more offerings from Kailasas around the globe. We have the offering of the first offering from Kailasa in San Jose. It's offering its expansion of the Nithyananda Jnanalaya in Kailasa in San Jose. So there, the Kailasa in San Jose is offering at the Divine Lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Its expansion of Nithyananda Jnanalaya. They have added 2,700 books in the categories of Shaiva Siddhanta, Kashmiri Shaivism, Veera Shaivism, Siddha books, Arunachala, Natha Sampradaya, Shaivagamas, Shaiva Puranas, palm leaf manuscripts, and more books. They have added 220 books on Shaivism and 500 books on the Jnanalaya topic.
Now let's move on to some wonderful offerings from Kailasa's United Kingdom, Europe, and Africa, which is inaugurating 3 new satsang centers and 1 Padaka Mandir. The first new satsang center is Kailasa, Russia, in Moscow, Russia. The coordinator is Sergei Kryoshtov. We have another new satsang center in Denelton, South Africa, Kailasa, South Africa. Coordinator is Mignoni Makonto.
A new satsang center from Kailasa, Austria, Scheffling am See, Austria. A new Padaka Mandir. Apologize. The Kailasa, Austria, new satsang center from Scheffling am See, Austria. The coordinators Manitya Mahadevananda and Srinitya Mahadevananda. New Padaka Mandir from Kailasa, Switzerland, Schlag TG, Switzerland, Martha Schreiner and Noel Schreiner are the coordinators.
The next offering is from Europe. We have 3 books that are translated in 3 different languages. One is the Living Enlightenment book, the Jivan Mukti book, which is translated and available for free download at Nityanandapedia. This book is the translation of Living Enlightenment in Italian and translation of Living Enlightenment book in Dutch. Both of these are available completely free of cost for download. And the next book is translated to Czech language, which is Arunachala, the giver of Nithyananda.
Next, we have inauguration of satsang centers in Middle Eastern zone. We have the satsang center in Doha, Qatar. And the next satsang center, which has been inaugurated, is from Muscat, Oman. And Kailasa in Los Angeles is now also offering us the virtual darshan of all of its deities. Now each of us can have the darshan of the deities at Los Angeles Temple online in their official website.
The inauguration of Swamiji's Utsava Murti from Kailasa, New Jersey. On the auspicious day of Guru Purnima, Kailasa, New Jersey, New York, inaugurated the Swamiji's Utsava Murti, blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and they also offered Guru Homa on this auspicious occasion.
With this, we have come to the conclusion of the segment, and we have a very, very, very exciting news for all of you. 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time and 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are having the live darshan of Devi Parashakti. So that would be, I think, 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time on 26th of July and 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time on 25th of July. So it's really, really, really exciting. We are going to be having the live Parashakti Akashic reading, where we are going to be having the darshan of the ultimate divine cosmic mother herself. She's going to be coming live, answering our questions, giving us the boons, and giving us the karmic breakthroughs, and answering our prayers, etc. live. So make sure you tune in the same platform that you are watching us live right now through, and you can ask your questions, prayer requests for boon, prayers, etc. while Devi is live. And this is going to be happening at 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and the preparations for the darshans begin by 2 a.m. Indian Standard Time, which is 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time. So with this, we have come to the conclusion of the segment, and we'll be concluding with Purna Mantra, and right after this, we are going to be having the power manifestation segment starting. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you all, Nithyanandam. Thank you all, Nithyanandam. Stay tuned. We are going to be having the live Kailasa's courtyard session starting very shortly.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment.
Taiwan, thank you for your contribution. Taiwan, thank you for your
is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment. Ecosystem, literally enlightenment. Ecosystem, literally enlightenment.